Hi, boys and girls. I was just sitting here with Rashid, and we were talking a little bit about how much we've been discussing writing bloopers. Writing bloopers are important because they're mistakes that we learn from and we share them with other people so that we become better writers. Well, Rashid said he feels pretty good about his writing and he feels pretty confident that he can figure out how to fix some of his mistakes, but he's a little bit worried about his reading. And I said, "Really, Rashid?" And he said, "Yes, because sometimes he comes to a word that he doesn't know. And then he gets worried to say it out loud because he gets kind of embarrassed and he doesn't know how to fix it. So instead, he just doesn't say anything. I felt bad for Rashid, and I got to thinking, how many people get to a word that they don't know and they just decide to skip it all together because it's just easier, or maybe they're embarrassed, or maybe they mumble through it like that instead of saying the word, and then they have no idea what they're reading. That's a tragedy, isn't it? Well, we talked about trying to fix that. And we were talking a little bit about, earlier this year, we talked about being word detectives. And there's a little chart that we talked about earlier in the year about ways that we can figure out tricky words when we're reading. So I'm going to go through some of these with you today. It says, be a word detective. You can use snap words. Snap words are important. Think about the word. Is it a word from your word wall? You could take a word like always and you could break it into syllables or parts. Always. That's a good way to take it apart and then put it back together to read it. You could take out the ending and then figure out the rest and then put it back together. Like this is start and this is ing, and you put it together, it says starting. You could use parts of words that you know, like BL is a bowl is a blend, and you could say that part first and then the rest of the word. Blanket, blanket. You could find a word inside of a word. Find a word you know and read it first. I know this one. It's a snap word and it says and. If I put the S in the beginning, then it would say sand. So I always have to be thinking, is this like a word that I already know? Because sometimes that will help me write and read better. So we don't want to be afraid of our mistakes. We want to challenge ourselves to share them with other people and talk about them so we can become better readers and writers. Today I'm going to take a book and it's called Elephants Cannot Dance. And I'm just going to read a page to demonstrate some strategies. And I want you to tell me which strategy you think is the best. Okay, get ready. This is the first strategy. This is about Elephant and Piggy. And Elephant, you can tell he doesn't really know how to dance. And Piggy is so excited. And you can tell that she wants him to know how to dance too. So here's the page. This is the first way. Number 1. I don't know that word. I'm just going to skip it. I am all my friends. I would love to learn how to dance. That's the first way. All right, here is the second way. Are you ready? I am all my friends. I would love to learn how to dance. Now, those were 2 ways. Here's the third way. I am, I don't know that word. Rashid, I'm not sure what that word says. I'm kind of embarrassed, but I feel like I need to figure that out so I can become a better reader. Maybe I can look at the poster here. I can look to see, is this word a snap word I know? No, not a snap word. Could I break it apart into syllables? Maybe I could do that. Or could I take off the ending? Oh, look at that. It has an ending just like the example. I could do that one. Or I could find a part I know. I can see some parts in the inside. I kind of see a word I might know that I could pick out there too. And I could say, is it like a word I already know? And I think it is. So I'm going to show you an example of a couple of these strategies. Let's see. I could take this word that says, I know that this part is one part of the word, and I know the ing is an ending. So I'm going to take it apart like this. And when I take it apart, all of a sudden, the word looks different to me. Because guess what? I know this word. This word is teach, because I'm a teacher. Teach, ing, and if I put them back together, it says teaching. So I'm using a word that I already know, that I found inside, and I'm taking out the ending and then putting it back together. And I know the word teacher. Look at this. Teach So teaching and teacher are almost the same. They just have a different end sound. Very good. So, which way did you think was the best? Did you like number one, where I just said, oh, I don't know that word? Did you like number two, where I kind of did the like that because I wasn't really sure what the word was, but I didn't figure it out either? Or did you like the third way, where I used a strategy I already know to see if I could fix it and if it makes sense? If you said number three, you made the right choice. So I'm going to take another example and I'm going to read this to you today. And I'm going to make some blooper mistakes. And I'm not going to be worried about you. I'm not going to be embarrassed about it, because you know what? Everybody's learning when they're reading. I'm going to make some mistakes, and I want you to see if you can pick out. There's going to be 3 words that are going to be blooper words. Are you ready? I'll use my pointer here so that you can follow along. Sarah likes to go to the barber shop with her dad. She thinks it is fun to see him get his bird shaved. Whenever she is there, the barber gives her a lollipop. Then, before they leave, he makes her dad put the date of his next appointment in his calendar. Did you find 3 mistakes? And you could tell I even had to reread something, because even teachers make mistakes too. So if you went through, let's see, I'll read it again sentence by sentence. Let's see if we can first think, does it sound right? And then how would we fix it? Sarah likes to go to the barber shop with her dad. Does that make sense? Yes. She thinks it is fun to see him get his bird shaved. Do you think he'd go to the barber shop to get his bird shaved? That doesn't make sense, does it? I'm going to look at this word. I don't think this word is right. Bird. Now, I remember that yesterday we talked about sometimes this EAR can say the air sound. You remember that? The air sound? Let's try it that way. It's fun to see him get his beard shaved. That doesn't sound right either, does it? I'm just trying to think. What would a dad have that he would get shaved? Oh, I'm thinking of something I know. Sometimes on their face they wear a beard. So this EAR says ear. And you know what? I know that EAR says ear, because lots of times I say you have to listen using your ears, right? So that must be right. She thinks it is fun to see him get his beard shaved. That's what it is. Now the next one, whenever she is there. Do we ever say whenever? I don't think so. But you know, when I look at this word, I bet I could break it apart into 2 words or find words I already know. Because I'm looking at this word and I see the word when. So I'm going to break it apart like this. When, and what does EVER say? Ever. So if you put them together, whenever. Whenever she is there. Does that sound right? Yes. The barber gives her a lollipop. Lollipop. The barber gives her a lollipop. Does that make sense? I don't think that one sounds right either. Lollipop. How could I change that? Well, I'm looking at that word and I see a word inside of it that I know, and it's this one. P-O-P. That says pop. Let me try it again. Whenever she is there, the barber gives her a lollipop. Does that sound right? Does it look right? Yes. Then before they leave, he makes her dad put the date of his next appointment in his calendar. So you help me figure out those words. And you know what? You don't have to be embarrassed if you're not sure what the word is. You just need to try to fix it, learn from your mistakes, always be looking, and make sure that you think about how it sounds and think about how it looks when you're reading and writing. So today, you won't have an assignment for this part of the lesson. I just want you to be thinking about that when you do your reading in your books at home or in your kids' A to Z. When you're reading something and you're not sure what the word is, think about using a strategy. You could think about your word wall words. You could think about breaking the words into syllables or taking off the ending or finding parts you know or finding words inside of it. Or you could say, it's like a word I know. You just don't ever want to say, I'm just going to skip it or mumble it through it because it won't help you understand it. And you want to become a better reader and writer. Have a good day.